That seems loud. Is that loud? Anyone else think that's really loud? Oh, Dave D says not too loud. All right. This is YML for Wednesday, show Wednesday, April 22nd, show number 1049. I'm Shawn King, joined here in studio, as always, by the lovely and talented Kim. Kim, how you doing?
Excellent, thank you.
We're waving at each other, and we're 10 feet away. On tonight's show, we won't have our good friend Jim Downpour from The Loop at loopinsight.com. Jim is in Yosemite National Park. No, he's not camping. No, of course he's not camping. Don't be stupid. He's at a conference there in Yosemite. I'm guaranteeing you right now, at this very moment in time, he has a beer in hand. So he won't be on the show. He's busy there. We're going to be doing a fairly shortened show tonight, and we'll talk about the whole issues of why we didn't have a show last week. Kim has her quirky questions. If you want to send us emails, you can to onair@yourmaclifeshow.com. And we're going to be giving away prizes tonight from
olook.com and Run with Crayons.
All that and much more. This is Your Mac Life. Jesus. Okay, I don't know why iTunes is working just fine. Okay, I haven't updated iTunes in a long time because I didn't need to, and now it's don't piss me off, iTunes. Not today. Today's not the frickin' day. And somehow it updated in the background, and I don't want it updated in the frickin' background, but it is. Atlanta. Okay, I got 6:25, so just give me a second here. We're getting an adult beverage. Be right back. Mic's back up. Oh, I got 5:30. It's time to go. Clearing the sinuses. All right, you ready over there, kid?
I think so, yes.
All right, I'm ready over here. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to, no, I'm not doing this, you're doing this. Oops, screw that up. It's been a while.
It's okay. Welcome to the Your Mac Life show, and it's 1049 for Wednesday, the 22nd of April, 2015. Thank you for joining us on Earth Day. Not that we're not on Earth any other day, but yeah. Tonight we'll be talking about a few different things. We won't be talking with Jim because, as Shawn hinted to earlier, that he's in on a conference, I think you said, in Yosemite. But we'll be doing our prize giveaways from our awesome supporters of OloClip tonight, and I think we'll give away 2, seeing as we didn't do anything last week, oloclip.com and runningwithcrayons.com. So we've had gifts so far given away by Pad and Quill and 1password.com. So 2 more tonight to give away. We'll have Kim's Quirky Questions. I have a few questions and a few general comments to make, and hopefully either the viewers will answer my questions or Shawn will do his thing. And now, here is the host of Your Mac Life, the apple of my eye, Shawn King.
Thank you very much. It's so cute of you. Sorry, I'm just trying to get Kim back on video. The app I use when you wear them. Get him in here. Get him in here.
Come here, Grom.
We have. Did you jump right across? This is from the nice folks at Fitbit. This is called the FitBark. Grommy is wearing a FitBark. Can you show it off to him? Look at the audience. Look at the audience, Grommy. Look at Grommy. Grommy is a Jack Russell Terrier. He is 8 years old.
Yeah.
And he's generally fairly fit, even though he doesn't do diddly all day long. He has now wearing on his collar, he's got a little blue bit on his collar. That is the FitBark. And what it is I guess, the equivalent of a fitness tracker for dogs. And what it will do is you download the app on your iPhone, and then the app will track your dog's activity. Now, we just put it on, like literally moments ago. Hang on, let me put this up on the screen so you guys can see right next to it. Next to them is the app, and it says that he's done 849 things. I'm not quite sure what those are.
Leg cocks. No.
Yeah, exactly. He's played for 15 seconds. No, 15 minutes. He's been active for an hour and 5 minutes, and resting, or grommet mode, for 1 hour and 16 minutes since we put it on him. It's kind of neat. It gives you on the bottom of the screen, it shows you, there's a number here, 3,200. I guess that's the number of, what do they call them, bark points? Bow wow points?
Yeah, bark points.
Bark points. Mm-hmm. So he gets bark points for doing stuff. There's a clock in the middle of it that shows the time of day, and then it shows how many points he has left, and it'll track this over time. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see. Well, to see what we already know, that Grommet doesn't do diddly squat all day long. It's not going to be all that interesting, but it's kind of a neat idea that you could track your dog's fitness, especially for folks who, what are you laughing at?
Nothing. Just somebody says, does he get an Apple Watch too? Sure. Why not? This
is the Apple Watch for dogs. It's kind of a neat idea in that it will allow folks who aren't home during the day to see what their dog does. Activity-wise. Also, even if you're like my friend Michelle, wonderful German Shepherd named Major, that he takes on a regular basis, you can sort of get an idea of how much activity the dog is actually getting versus other dogs. You'll be able to, at some point in the future, compare your dog's performance with the dog and see if your dog is similar to other German Shepherds or Jack Russells or whatever else it might be. Fitbit.com is the name of the company. It's going to be kind of fun. I don't know if it's a necessary thing. I
think it's really good for people if you go out to work every day and you have a dog on his own,
Yep.
because, we found when I used to have 4 dogs, when I had the one on his own, I think at a certain point they do get lonely, and I think they tend to. I think this would show you that they were. I know it sounds silly, but maybe a bit depressed, because they would literally sleep all day. Whereas I think normally dogs do tend to move around. They might, go look out the window and bark at something on their own.
That being the case, wouldn't a home monitoring video thing work better? Where you
You could do that too.
Video camera and watch it.
But you'd have to have a camera in the room. It depends if you restrict your dog. Whereas Grommet's free to go everywhere. We'd have to have a camera in every room, because if he's not in here, he's in the bedroom sleeping.
Yeah, he sleeps all day. We don't need Fitbit to know he sleeps all day. He's a lazy dog. He's I don't know if
he's not lazy.
No, he's not lazy, because when he goes outside, he likes to run around.
He runs fast, and he's fit, and he jumps a lot.
It just, his natural state is down. Where's he now? He's right here, as a matter of fact. He's right there, where he often sleeps. But he's not like he's fat or anything else like that. He's the best part about him is he's unlike what I thought I knew with Jack Russell Terriers. He's not a frantic dog. He doesn't yap and.
No, he's not a yapper.
He's not a yapper at all.
And like Dave D says, lonely dogs is a bad scene, because they get bored and they will trash things.
They'll trash things.
Yeah.
But because he wasn't. I don't think he was lonely when I wasn't here. Before I moved in.
No, because he didn't get to spend a lot of time on his own, because he's always been with other dogs or someone. Yeah.
So we'll track Grommet over the next few weeks and months and report back to you guys. What else is going on? As you said, Jim Dalrymple is in Yosemite National Park. I've never been to Yosemite. I always wanted to go as a photographer, in particular, to Yosemite. The problem with Yosemite is it requires hiking. Not a big hiker.
No, I'm not a hiker either.
I'm not a fan of hiking. But I've seen pictures of it. It's a beautiful place. Unfortunately, Jim will not be seeing any of the scenery either, because he's also not much of a hiker. But he's there for the Yosemite conference and won't be at the show tonight. We're going to have a short show tonight, because for those folks who may not know, I've had some dental issues over the past little while. I actually, when I was thinking of this over the last few days, I didn't realize, I'd forgotten that my mom had lost all of her teeth by the time she was 35.
I see. So some of it is genetics.
I didn't realize.
Some of it is just.
The way I thought about it is, I remember my mom, when we were kids, scaring us with her dentures. That she pushed them out, raw, and monster noise. And I thought, I remember that fondly as a kid. We were scared. But it wasn't until the last week I realized, wait a minute, if I was a kid when that was happening,
she was quite young.
Yeah. Because my mom had me when she was 19. So if I was 10 when that was happening, 11 or 12, she lost her teeth before she was 35. I conceptualized that before. I didn't realize before. So what's happening for me, fortunately, is that the periodontal disease has eaten away the bone of my jaw. Apparently there's no bone up here where teeth can anchor into. And when that happens, your teeth eventually work their way out. One of the problems is, like most Canadian males, I lost my front teeth years ago on ice. I'm surprised Canadian males have not genetically evolved and they're just not having front teeth. we all lose them in hockey. It's just something that happens to us. So those I lost maybe 30, 40 years ago. And now the other ones, in particular one in the front, which makes you look like a fucking hillbilly, which is the most humiliating and embarrassing. That's the one I had to go to the dentist for. And part of the problem is that we all hate going to the dentist for any number of reasons. And what?
I don't.
You don't hate going to the dentist?
No.
You're a weirdo.
No. You grow up going to the dentist as a kid, like 30 or 40 years ago in England, and you come to North America and go to a dentist. Okay. I love going to the dentist.
Lucky you.
My dentist was like Frankenstein.
But that's what most of us, either as kids, and we bring that forward in our adult lives, dentists scare us. They hurt us. And one of the reasons why they hurt us is we don't take care of our teeth over time, and the dentist kind of has to. Unless your dentist is the guy from, oh crap, what was that movie with the plant? Seymour. Little Shop of Horrors. Unless your dentist was Steve Martin in Little Shop of Horrors, who was a sadist and liked hurting you, dentists don't actually like hurting people. They just kind of have to because it's the nature of their jobs. And if we took care of our teeth better, they wouldn't hurt you.
Right.
And for those of us who are susceptible to periodontal diseases, you have to take care of your teeth even better than the average person. Brushing twice a day isn't good enough. It's brushing and flossing and regular cleanings and all the kind of stuff. And the problem with that is it's expensive. And unless you work for an employer that has a dental plan, people have been asking me about this for the last little while. They said, I thought Canada had free health care. Well, we have free medical health care,
but not dental.
But we don't have free dental. What do you say? Dental
or extended, like prescriptions.
Yeah, and optical, which is kind of weird because your dental health and your optical health can be just as important as
your heart health.
Yeah, it's part of your health. So I always thought it was kind of strange our medical system didn't cover that. So what happens for a lot of Canadians is you just don't go because it's an expensive thing to go every 4 months, 6 months, whatever it might be. And so you put it off. And in my research of reading up on this stuff, the problem is your teeth go from okay to awful like instantly. It's not like it's not like it's a sore toe that just gets more and more sore. It's boom. You don't even know you've got the disease until bad stuff starts to happen. So that's why you have to take care of it over time. And the other thing is, it's amazing how many folks have emailed me saying they have similar issues or they have had similar issues. Very much like other issues, it's an embarrassment. It's embarrassing to have your teeth fall out. It's humiliating. It's shameful. And folks say, oh, you have nothing to be ashamed of. Well, you might say that, but it doesn't stop me from feeling that way. I still feel embarrassed by this. I still feel that as a grown man, my teeth should be falling out like a 6-year-old. So the problem is, like I said, it's expensive. So Kim and I went to a dentist a week ago Tuesday, and dentist basically said that this is going to be a very expensive procedure. And it's money I just don't have. I don't have a dental plan. It's going to cost a lot of money to get this fixed. And so I sat around moping. Several folks noticed last week I wasn't on Twitter at all. Last week I just sort of pulled back from the world because I didn't want to talk to anybody or think about anything, or basically I just didn't want to deal with this. And our friend John Welch, Binky, along with a lot of other folks, said, well, you should do this GoFundMe thing. And now John said, I know you don't like Kickstarter, but this GoFundMe isn't a Kickstarter type thing. Kickstarter is for tangible goods. It's when you want to raise money for a product, a device, a gadget, a record album, a movie, that kind of stuff. GoFundMe actually describes itself as the world's largest personal fundraising site. And this is for those folks who need or want to raise money for their own thing, whatever that might be, whether it be emergency stuff or whether it be trips to I just noticed, whether it be trips, whether it might be. So I've set up a site, gofundme.com/Shawn King. I just noticed we just hit $5,000.
Oh my gosh.
In 2 days.
That's awesome.
Since I put this up on Monday morning, after agonizing over it all weekend, put it up on Monday morning, and we've got 7 people have donated $5,000 for dental work, which is great. Because what that means is, if nothing else, we can start making appointments with a dentist to get second and third opinions to find out what we can and can't do. One of the problems is implants, which are basically they screw a bolt into your skull and then screw a tooth into it, are between $2,000 and $2,500 a piece, and you need to have at least 6 of them. So that's an option. Dentures are an option. There's other options. I've got a couple of dentists I'm going to be calling tomorrow, listeners of Your Mac Life, who are going to give me some advice of what to expect over the next month or so. So as one of the things that Kim said, and really came home to me, was you've got a choice between a really bad option and a really, really bad option. There's no good way out of this. There's nothing good is going to happen from this in the short term. In the long term, I'm going to have teeth. I'm going to be able to not have to gum my food. I'm going to not have mouth pain. And I've had mouth pain for 10 years. My mouth has hurt 24/7 for the past 10 years in various ways. I've been sucking back Aleve and Advil and Tylenol like they were M&Ms for 10 years.
And that's not good.
And that's not good either,
No,
exactly.
it's good for your stomach.
And it's you choose different foods to eat. I mean, I haven't had a steak in 7 years because it's too hard to chew. Maybe that's why I like pasta so much nowadays. Because pasta's easy to chew.
Yeah.
Fish, fish, nice and soft. Yes, I love fish. I always love fish. But yeah, so your diet changes. So if you can, please GoFundMe.com/Shawn King. I would appreciate it. Anything is fine. The other good thing about this is that I've set it up so that at certain levels of donation, you get something back too. So $75 and above, you'll get photography classes, basically online photography. So if you're watching Your Mac Life right now, you'd be able to participate in the online one-on-one photography class that I will teach you about beginning photography and DSLR photography. It's the same class I teach other folks here in Vancouver and hopefully other places. So please check it out if you can. GoFundMe.com/Shawn King. And thanks very much to the people who have said wonderful things about me on Facebook and on Twitter and by email and all the other stuff. It's been
awesome.
Exactly. It's been incredible. It's been amazing. It's been wonderfully surprising that this many folks in such a short period of time gave so much money. And I'm going to continue going on this for a while. MacBan says, I lived in Orangeville for months where I could have a tooth worked on. Yeah. And other folks have suggested, we had one listener who lives in Thailand and said, I've got a dentist here in Thailand that you could do. And I thought, yeah, it'd be cheaper. And I've always wanted to go to Thailand, but I don't want to sleep on a bed in pain for a month in Thailand. Yeah. Why waste the money going to a beautiful place in the world to not be able to enjoy it?
Yeah.
Or Mexico, or Netherlands, or Amsterdam. Other folks people, they're all great places to go, but not to have dental surgery.
We'll just find someone that's going to do a good job here.
That's the thing. And we're looking into the local people have suggested local dental colleges, looking into that, looking into, again, second and third opinions, and we'll find someone who will do this. The important thing now is getting the money. We didn't have it before. We got some of it now, and it's absolutely incredible. So thanks to all you folks who are chipping in. I appreciate it. I love this quote from our friend Lauren Finkelstein, the official Jew of Your Mac Life. I never cared for sports, but watching Shawn King's GoFundMe campaign makes me feel like shouting, "Go Team YML!" Lauren, thanks very much for that. I appreciate it. That was a funny way of putting it. So thanks very much for doing that. MacMan says, if there's a dental college in Vancouver, check there. Yeah, there are a couple here in Vancouver. Brian Monroe says, it's a good idea, Shawn. Medical tourism, people do it, but I agree it's best if you can get it done locally. Yeah, I think in the long run, it's going to be easier, cheaper, better to do it here in...
and you've got, not that it comes with warranty, but you've got someone to go back to.
True.
Because I know, I'm sure dentures, it's a knack to getting them to fit comfortably.
I hope so.
Yeah.
MacMan says, I shaved thousands off my costs by going to the dental college when I was at the University of Iowa. Yeah, that's exactly it. Okay, so GoFundMe.com/Shawn King. The Apple Watch, a couple Fridays ago, we had sat up Thursday night.
Yes.
Watching TV. And at 9 o'clock, I said, so, we're going to stay up? Kim was like, why? Well, to pre-order the Apple Watch. So we've been talking about this on the show personally for the few weeks beforehand. And we talked about it, and we started doing some math, and we realized one of the problems we have here in Canada is the Canadian dollar. The $349 sport watch that you lucky Americans can get is somewhere in the neighborhood of
650, wasn't it, with the exchange rate?
650 with the exchange and taxes here in British Columbia. That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's for the cheapest Apple Watch.
Yeah, I couldn't warrant
$650.
No.
$349, we thought about it. But $650 is a bit much for a gadget. So we decided not to. But we Friday morning we had an appointment to go see the Apple Watch in person, live in person. Went down to the Guilford Center Mall, at the Apple Store Guilford Center, and Kim made an appointment to check it out. And what was your first impression walking into the Apple Store?
It was busy.
Mm-hmm.
But they seemed very well organized. They had lots of staff on hand, and there was someone there to meet and greet you and check you in, like they knew you by your name,
yep,
that you had an appointment made. And then they would shout you out as soon as your appointment time came ready or just before. And you actually went up to a table where they opened up this drawer with all the boxes, all the watches in, and they would bring out the one that you specifically said you were interested in with that type of strap,
yeah,
so that you could put that one on your wrist and go through. It was, a fixed demo mode on it, so it would show you the various faces.
The first thing I thought was really interesting was I've been to the Apple Store a million times and all over the world and watched, and I'm always interested to see how the employees approach people, talk to people, explain things to people, because it's very, very well done. Mm. And in this case, it was really interesting because we had a guy, I think his name was Jay. I'm not sure what his name was. Young guy, about 25 years old.
Yeah.
Nice guy. And obviously Kim is quite female, thank God. And he was very careful to ask your permission before he...
Oh, yes.
He was careful.
Think about it, yeah.
Because I was that too. I was thinking about how did Apple explain this to people, and I've heard from other people too that most of the Apple specialists, the Apple Watch specialists, will be very careful because they don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to get accused of anything.
Yeah, because not everybody's like me. I'm a touchy-feely kind of person. Exactly. I don't care who grabs my arm or whatever.
But he was very careful, asked permission to touch, to explain what he was. This, I'm going to put it on your arm. I'm going to do this kind of stuff. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Then the first impression I got was that we were both. I was very surprised at how small the face seemed, even though
that was the 42 millimeter.
42 millimeter, which is supposed to be not supposed to be. It is the biggest one.
Yeah, it seems smaller than that one. Looking.
Now, interestingly enough, someone explained it to me. One of the reasons why is because let's say your watch is 42 millimeters. Mm-hmm. That's circular, whereas the Apple Watch is diagonal.
Yeah.
And so it seems like a TV screen. So it seems it's not actually 42 millimeters on the side.
Diagonal.
It's on diagonal. So that's one of the reasons why it's smaller. But it didn't seem really as big and clunky as I thought it was.
It was nice. I love the feel of that textured. It's not a rubber. The sport watch band was very nice.
What do they call it?
I don't know, something fancy.
Ferro. I think it was some sort of ferroplastomer. They described that rubber watch band as, but it felt really neat. It was smooth. It was, for those of you who have the Apple case, the plastic rubberized Apple case, it felt like the back of your Apple case.
It feels like suede.
Suede-ish, yeah. Mm-hmm. It certainly doesn't feel plasticky.
No.
It felt very nice. Now, one of the things I regret not doing is looking at other bands too.
Oh.
Well, I want to make another appointment at some point to go look at other bands, because one of the things I want to see is how the bands come on and come off. That's supposed to be a very clever and very innovative way that Apple has done that. And unfortunately, as Kim said, none of the watches were operational from the point of view you couldn't do what you wanted to do with the watch. The first thing I asked the guy about was force touch. How did that work? And how did the heartbeat thing work? And for me, the heartbeat was really interesting. I don't know why I've been reading a lot about this. Our friend Ben Bajarin over at Tech Pinions has been talking about this a lot, that he thinks that this kind of personal feedback is going to be very crucial to the success of the watch. And I really didn't understand what he meant by it until I held the watch in my hand and felt that it's hard to describe what that feels like. It's not a poke.
No.
It's not a rub. It very much feels like a heartbeat on your wrist.
Yeah.
Which is a really interesting personal feel to it. That's the other thing. I asked the guy, how long is a heartbeat? So you put 2 fingers on it, and it sends a heartbeat. And it sends your exact heartbeat. It doesn't send a random...
It's not like a mimic of, or just a...
It's not like a generic...
So if your heart's racing, it'll send that,
If you have just come from a run and send someone the heartbeat, it'll... And it happens for as long as...
Hopefully it's not going that fast.
It happens for as long as you hold down your fingers on the watch.
Yeah. And
so if you want to do it for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it'll last that long. That was really interesting to me. I don't know why I find that so interesting. I don't know. There's something there about that personal, about you being able to reach out and literally touch somebody that you care about. And the thing is, you can do this to anyone. You can do this to any one of your friends who have an Apple Watch that's in your contact list. And Force Touch was kind of cool too. The fact that you could press a little harder to get information. They showed that on the demo. Fluoroelastomer, as Monty said, that's what the band material is called. Fluoroelastomer. Hiker BC says they have the new MacBooks on display at Pacific Center in Vancouver. Yeah, Hiker, they didn't have any in Canada the day of launch. It wasn't until a little later that they actually got them in Canada. We'll have to go down and see them again. MacMan, Brian Monroe says, not sure that's possible, MacMan, going down to PDX or Seattle to buy the watch because I'm not back in the U.S. for a while. But it's also because you're still going to get charged duty when you come across the border to declare stuff. So you can't skate that way. MacBooks and display. Arxine, I wonder how many years it'll be before we get the smartwatch version of the phablet. 76 millimeters and 84 millimeter Apple Watch by 2020. Yeah, no kidding. What other aspects of the... Oh, and then... So we saw the Apple Watch. We saw the gold edition watch, too.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, and this pisses me off, only available for sale in Toronto and Montreal. Now, for those folks who live in Canada, everyone went... There's always been this thing in Canada about Toronto. And you guys have heard me rant about Toronto for years.
Yeah.
Everyone in Canada hates Toronto. But it just seemed odd that Vancouver, the 3rd largest city in the country, with a huge Asian population, supposedly the gold watch is going to be is going to be popular among our Asian friends. Why wouldn't that watch be available for sale anywhere in Vancouver? You can see it. You can go look at it. You can't try it on. You can't, in any way, shape, or form, touch it. You can only do that in one store in Toronto and one store in Montreal, which is kind of annoying. But I wasn't impressed with the rose gold with the red band. I don't like it at all.
That didn't go together well.
No.
No.
I don't like it.
It was a bit tacky looking, cheap even.
If you had Bill Gates money, would you buy the gold Apple Watch?
If I had the money?
If you had Bill Gates money. In other words, you had more money than you could ever spend in your life.
No, I probably wouldn't.
Why not?
You're speaking to the wrong person. I'm not much of a bling kind of person.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not. I don't.
Excuse me?
I'm not bling.
Really? As her watch sparkles in the light face.
But it's not bling.
It has little rhinestone-y things on it. It died again. Just Kim's videos died again. Oh, there's back. No, okay, no. Show your watch to the audience. Hold it up to. No. Get it close to the camera. Come on. Folks, see that thing sparkling? See the thing going all blingy? What do you have in the back of your motorcycle helmet?
Yeah, blingy decal.
Didn't she just say she wasn't a blingy kind of girl?
I meant like jewelry wise.
Hang on. How many pairs of jeans do you have that are bejeweled?
2.
So you have blingy jewels. Jeans. You want to keep trying?
Yeah. But a watch. See, Apple Watch is you're buying it because of what it does and what it can do, not what it looks like. I mean, yes, the presentation is excellent. It looks great. The picture's great. But it's not it isn't a piece of jewelry so much.
Sorry, Brian Monroe says the feed is choppy tonight. I wish the Shawn has better bandwidth. I can't do about that. That's where we live. Sorry, guys. Monty says, aren't the tats bling?
What bling?
Aren't your tattoos bling? You wouldn't consider those bling?
Yeah, it's kind of like my jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's personal to me. Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't, if I had all the money in the world, I still wouldn't buy an Apple Gold watch.
No.
Because it just doesn't, for me, the gold isn't serviceable. In other words, it doesn't add to the
Right, exactly,
thing,
to what it does.
To what it does. It's
like if I had all the money in the world, I love cars, but I wouldn't buy a Rolls Royce or a Bentley.
Yeah.
Or maybe. But you know what I mean? Because certain things are just like, it's just like image. It's almost like you're just showing off because you have that much money. It's not useful to you, or it's not your style. See, like this. Yes, it's my bling then, but it's my style. It's me. I'm not doing it to show off to others that, hey, look how much money I've got. Whereas I think if you have a gold Apple Watch, you're kind of showing off.
Didn't we have this conversation privately? I was ranting about the tweets of all these Mac media websites, supposedly journalism websites, reporting on the latest celebrity who has an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Folks, you shouldn't care. You shouldn't give a rat's ass what watch Beyonce has. No. You shouldn't give a rat's ass what watch Simon Pegg has. You shouldn't give a rat's ass what watch some celebrity has, simply because they have it. No, in Karl Lagerfeld, the story first was about Karl Lagerfeld, who had not only did he have a gold watch, but he had a gold band. Now, Apple doesn't sell that gold band. They don't advertise that gold band. So everyone's like, oh, where did Karl Lagerfeld get the gold band? He got it from Apple, you fucking morons! And why? Because he's a fashion icon. Agree or not, he is. People look to him for fashion. And so Apple went to him and said, Mr. Lagerfeld, here, please take this. Did Mr. Lagerfeld pay for it? I'd be willing to bet you no, he did not. So Apple gave it to him for free. Well, why did Apple give him one for free? If you ask the question, you're an idiot, and you should get off the internet because it's not a safe place for you. He gets it for free, or he gets it, period, for everyone else, is because people like you care what Karl Lagerfeld has on his wrist. If you stop caring, guess what? Apple will give him one.
Yeah, that's right, because it gets attention.
That's why they do it.
Yeah.
Because people like you, and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying people in general, care, and they shouldn't care. Oh my God, there's so many more things that you should be using bandwidth up caring about than whether Katy fucking Perry has a rose gold Apple Watch. Seriously, I mean, I more reported that as if it was news.
I know, it's crazy.
That's not news. That's not information you need to know to live your life or to be a Mac user or to do anything.
Just stating the obvious.
Our sign says, if I had lottery money, I'd buy the edition. I'd buy a new A1 at Picnic.
Yeah.
What about you guys? If you had lottery money, as our sign says it, if money were no object, would you buy the gold edition Apple Watch? Would you buy that? I don't think I would. I will admit to, after having seen it, lusting after that stainless steel watch with the link bracelet.
The link, yeah.
Oh my God, that was gorgeous. That I really liked. The problem was the bracelet itself, the band itself was $700. I'm never buying that band. If you see me wearing a stainless steel Apple Watch with the steel band, you know what that means?
Mm-hmm.
Arrest me because I've beaten somebody up for it. I've committed a crime to have it. I shouldn't have it. I've committed a crime to get that, and you have reasonable suspicion that I have committed a crime to get that. I mean, the sport watch with the sport band, yeah, I can definitely see me wanting one of those now.
Yeah, at some point.
But not at $650.
No, not yet.
And so I'm not going to get an Apple Watch until maybe the second or third version, until the price comes down, because I'm not. It just to me, it's not worth $650. I just don't see the value in it at that price point. I'm not saying it's expensive. I'm just saying for me personally, I don't see the value. And lots of other folks have pre-ordered it and will pre-order it, and that's no problem. I'm not mocking anybody for doing it. I'm saying for me personally, even if I had that money, even if I had that I could buy a watch, I spend a watch. I don't know if I'd spend that much money on the Apple Watch. I don't see that much value in it. Even at $350. At $350, I like it if you and I could use it together. In other words, if we could pair and unpair the watch. Yeah. So if you could use one watch among two people, then I could see some value in it. I mean, I was more than happy to pay half of the watch for you if you wanted to get one. But not at $650. It's just too expensive for more of a gadget type thing than an actual useful device, I think, for me personally. Other folks might feel differently. Send me an email to Shawn at yourmaclifeshow.com or on air at yourmaclifeshow.com. We'd love to hear what you guys think about these kinds of things. Have you pre-ordered an Apple Watch? Brian Monroe and the other folks, hang on. Brian Monroe, you said that's not going to happen, Shawn. Apple makes the portable devices for one person at a time. Yes, that's true, but I have heard from other people that it's fairly easy to pair and unpair the iPhone because it's running Bluetooth. So I haven't yet got an answer from somebody where they say, yes, I have unpaired it with my iPhone and paired it to my wife's iPhone and paired it to another person's iPhone. I haven't gotten the answer to that, but I have heard that it is easy to pair and unpair it. So in theory, you could use it among two people. It wouldn't be nearly as good because it means half the time the exercise aspect of it isn't being used. And obviously you couldn't send heartbeats back and forth, but I think it is possible. So on air, yourmaclifeshow.com, let me know if you guys have pre-ordered or will pre-order or will be getting an Apple Watch. Brian Monroe brought up something interesting during the pre-show, that the pre-orders, that there was an issue with the fact that Apple shouldn't have done the pre-orders before the try-ons. And I understand Brian's point, but I disagree with it, in the sense that it wouldn't have mattered. The pre-orders, the lack of a try-on before ordering didn't stop it from selling out and wouldn't have stopped from selling out. If Apple had done the try-ons first and then done the pre-ordering, we'd be in the same situation we are now. I don't think there's any doubt that Apple was going to sell out of these pre-orders. I think it was just a matter of time. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. Trying them on had no effect on this whatsoever, because you could have pre-ordered at midnight on Thursday and then gone to your Apple store at 9 o'clock on Friday and decided, ooh, no, not so much, don't like it, and then canceled your pre-order. There's no penalty to pre-order, so a lot of folks would have pre-ordered it without even trying it on. So I don't think the pre-order thing would have made any difference. Brian says, I know it did not stop it, but it would have been more logical to do it that way. Possibly. Sure, but you would lose your place in line, Shawn. Yeah, but if you cancel the pre-order, it's because you tried it on and didn't like it, so you were going to lose your place in line anyway. Oh, Monty says, did Kim log out of IRC intentionally? Kim, are you?
No, I can't get back onto any wireless, so I've left it. I know, even hours doesn't come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
People.
And waiting, yeah. Well, waiting, Brian says you have to wait longer to get your Apple Watch. Yeah, but as we said in the pre-show, you're going to wait for an Apple Watch. Kim didn't want an Apple Watch, or didn't want to pay that much for an Apple Watch, but it didn't mean we immediately went to Pebble.com and looked at Pebble watches.
No.
We didn't look for Samsung Gear watches.
No, if I'm going to get a watch that does that, it'll be an Apple Watch.
It'll be an Apple Watch. I think the vast majority of people were like that.
Especially now I've seen them.
Yeah. People are going to wait for the Apple Watch. It's not like, oh, I wanted an Android watch, but the one from Samsung is sold out. Okay, I'll get the one from this company.
No.
The Pebble is sold out, so I'll get a Gear. It's not going to happen. I don't know of a single person who wants an Apple Watch who sees the long wait, now it's into June, and it'll likely be into July, sees the long wait and goes, okay, I'll go buy a Pebble instead. They're $200 cheaper. Not going to happen. The biggest issue for Apple is they better have lots and lots of these things for sale for Christmas. That's going to be the big issue for Apple. It's okay for them to have back orders through spring and summer. But by the time American Thanksgiving rolls around in November,
October, November, yeah.
You better be able to walk into a store and pick up an Apple Watch right there in the store.
Yep.
Brian Monroe says, I agree, Shawn. My point was that it would have been a more logical way to do it. Of course, people who want an Apple Watch are going to get an Apple Watch. They're not going to change phones to get an Android Wear or to get the Pebble. Now, that's an interesting point of view. I'd love to know, and certainly some are, the percentage of people who are buying an iPhone to get an Apple Watch. In other words, they don't have an iPhone now. They don't have say they have an Android phone.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a lot.
Well, remember there was a watch kind of phone thing that came out with, I think it was Samsung did it a few years ago, because I was looking at it for something like a gift for Matthew.
Yeah,
but then
Samsung Gear.
Yeah. And I found out that, it doesn't work on iPhone, and of course our family's iPhone. So it was like, oh, it's a done deal then. I'm not getting it. There's no way I would have gone, I'll go get wouldn't have. So I think people tend to get stuck in their ways.
Yeah, certainly.
So, like I have work phones, for example. The guys that have always had BlackBerry are getting BlackBerries again, these BlackBerry Pilot things, but not me.
As MacMan says, I have a feeling the number of people doing that would be a rounding error in the total sold. I agree. I think we'll see a lot more people upgrading their iPhones to a 6 or a 6 Plus in order to get an Apple Watch. I think we'll see that number go up. People who have a 4, a 4S, even a 5. The 5 works with the Apple Watch. I can see folks saying, well, you know what, I got this older iPhone, I might as well upgrade both at the same time. Might as well get an Apple Watch and a new iPhone. Especially if you can get the iPhone on your cellular plan.
It's your plan. It depends what your plan
on your plan. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think we'll see a lot more of those people, though. Now, I have heard lots of Android folks saying, I wish it was available on Android. They would get an Apple Watch. But not as many Android folks saying that they're definitely going to be getting rid of their Android phone and getting an iPhone. I don't think that's going to be a whole lot of people. Let's do Kim's Quirky Questions. Hang on. Monty says, as intricate and intelligent as the Apple Watch is, and as silly as it's going to appear, one of the equations for buy, not buy, for me is going to be, can it be made by some fashion to chime on the hour? I know it's weird. That's a big deal for me for my watch.
Does your current watch chime on the hour?
It sounds like Monty says. Monty says yes, it does.
Oh.
That's it. I don't know if. I don't think I've ever had a wristwatch that chimed on the hour. I've had, you can turn your computer on it to do that. My iPhone doesn't. I'm sure there's an app you can probably get for that.
Well, you could program it to do that to you. Reminder. Yeah. It could tap you every hour.
I don't know if you can set reminders for every hour, but yeah, certainly it's a possibility. The other thing is, a lot of folks have commented on the Gruber story about watch faces, where Apple will not allow unapproved third parties to add watch faces. You've wanted a watch face. You wanted a watch face for yours with Harley skull logo and Willie G skull, and the hands are on the clock. And apparently that's, unless Harley buys a license for that, it's not going to happen.
They might down the road.
Well, not unless Apple approves it. I can't see it getting hacked so that you can do that. Or, sorry, Apple allowing it. You'd have to license it from Apple, I think. It'd be kind of cool to be able to put whatever graphic you want and have a watch face overlay it. That'd be the best thing. But Gruber's point is that Apple will not allow that experience to be different in that way. They may change it at some point in the future, right? Because that was the same way with the original iPhone too. It was the same way with the Macintosh for many years. You couldn't change the interface; it had to be hacked to do it. I think Apple will loosen up on that restriction at some point in the future. I can't believe I haven't been recording this. God damn it!
How do you suddenly find out you haven't been
Because my recording buttons aren't pushing the record. Oh, frack!
Oh, well. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. C'est la vie. You can't go backwards. You can only go forwards.
I have had a reminder pop up at 5:25 p.m. Pacific time for the last 10 years that says, hit record. That's all it says. Every Wednesday.
But it didn't do it today. Apparently not.
Son of a bitch!
Oh dear. Oh well.
Monty says, Wednesdays are not your days, are they? No, they're not. Oh, freaking hell. Brian Monroe says, YouTube not auto-record. Yeah, YouTube auto-records, but it's a pain in the ass to download it. And then the file format YouTube uses, the conversion into audio and videos. Damn it! Why are you laughing?
Oui.
MacMan says, I saw something pop up in Kim's window about video, but I couldn't read it. That was probably it. All right, Kim's Quirky Questions.
Okay, back to the Apple Watch.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Not that we've left it. But does anyone know, if you get one, do all your photos that you have on your phone automatically go to the watch? Or do you load what you want and up to a certain limit on the watch?
Again. Oh, there we go. I remember reading somewhere that there's a limit to the amount of space any particular thing, music and photos, can take up on your Apple Watch.
Right.
Now,
yeah,
how those things get on there, I don't know. Apple has a system where you can load like your photos last 30 days from iCloud. Maybe they'll do that.
Yeah, so your most recent ones kind of thing. You'd show them off, like show them around. And then who thinks there's going to be a camera attached to the Apple Watch down the road?
You've asked this question before. I think it's. I have no fear.
I say yes.
I have no fear of saying that's going to be the dumbest question you ever asked.
No, I think they will be. I just want other people to think like me.
and how would that watch work? Sorry, how would the camera work? Do that again. Will the camera actually make that noise?
Yeah.
So you expect there to be a lens on the side of your watch?
Yeah, on that bit. Right there.
On that bit, where the digital crown is right now.
No, the digital crown's on the side.
Okay.
Then that would be where I'd go.
And how would you look through the viewfinder of this camera to see what you're shooting? Oh, you just shot sky.
Well, maybe it'd be just like... You remember when before you had the flip of your camera, before you could have flipped the lens around and see what you were taking a picture, you would kind of just like wing it.
Yeah.
Throw it
and
up
how
there
often were those pictures?
Yeah, I know, but whatever. It'll come eventually, and then eventually there'll be something that you could look through and visual, or even like the old-fashioned brown box cameras where you would look down to see the view and it would look that way. You could do that. It would, on camera mode, you would look down at the screen and see what the lens is looking at, and then you'd go click. I'm telling you, it's coming. Mark my words. Yeah, write it down.
Not coming.
On a piece of parchment
Never
right
gonna
now.
Happen. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, and steal it.
It's pointless.
No, it's not.
It's utterly, when you have the iPhone.
People love gadgets.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. You're right.
Yep,
but
it's coming.
Because the Apple Watch, for the most part, requires your iPhone, why wouldn't you just take pictures with the iPhone?
Because it's more cool looking.
No, that's not cool looking at all. You look like an utter dork taking pictures like that.
Nope. You can take pictures like sneakily, way more sneakily than with your iPhone.
Really? And is that what you want?
It's like,
Men
he's hot looking.
Is
I'll
that
take a
what?
picture of him.
So that's what you want, as Monty says, watch with cameras, gym locker rooms, brain bleach.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad, eh?
You see?
Oh, good. I don't know.
Hiker BC, I can see it being used as a controller for the camera on the iPhone. The perverts of the world will love it, say MacMan. MacMan says that falls into the same creep factor as Google Glass in my book. Brian Monroe, not going to happen. Why, Mel Kim?
But if you're a creep, you're a creep. You're going to use your iPhone. If you're a creep, you're going to use your iPhone and pretend you're texting, but you're actually taking a picture of that girl over there. Like,
for some odd reason, Lesh now, Chapman just yells Wally. I'm not quite sure why she's doing that. Brian Monroe says, Shawn, how about a Pico projector in an Apple Watch? No! No, just you do it on the iPhone. Arc sign, a lens cover shutter button. Keep the lens clean and moves out of the way momentarily for a picture. No creepy, always seeing eye. No, not going to happen. Not going to happen.
okay, can I ask another question now?
Okay, this is your segment. This is the Kim's Quirky Questions segment.
The upgrade that I just recently did on my iPhone 5.
And why did you do that?
Just because. I've been waiting for ages, and you kept telling me, don't do it yet, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then you just did it.
Now, why do you think I was saying don't do it?
Well, it's an Apple phone. They must know what they're doing. If they sent it out, there's a reason for having it.
So you think Apple's perfect?
It's their gear.
That they would never do anything messed up?
Who's going to know more about an iPhone than Apple?
So you're saying that you trust Apple?
Yeah.
To not screw up your shit?
Yeah.
Folks, do you guys want to break it to her, or should I?
But my question in relation to the upgrade is, when I then went to text, and I often send those, are they called emojicons or emojis or whatever they are? The little
emojis.
Thumbs up and okay. It came up with, when I first went to click on a thumbs up, for example, it came up with all these like 6 or 7 different skin tones that I could pick from. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I kind of went, oh, I'll go for the brown one. Okay.
Why do the brown one?
I don't know, getting more tanned in summer.
Okay.
And then when I went to use, a different wavy hand or something, it did the same thing, came up with an option, and so that time I just happened to pick like the more pinky one or whatever. Okay. But then I noticed that then when I went to use the thumbs up again, I didn't get the option to choose. I think so up and it gave me these skin color options. Once I picked it the first time, I'm stuck with it. So now I send a tanned thumb, a little bit more yellowy hand wave, and a pinky white okay symbol.
So you can't go back and re-choose the colors?
Yes. No, I can't.
That's hilarious.
So I'm kind of multiracial with my hand gestures.
I don't use emojis. I think they're stupid and childish and juvenile.
Yeah, that's why I do.
Exactly. But I didn't know that you couldn't change the skin color once.
I know. I didn't realize until I'd done it.
The first time.
Yeah.
Folks, if anyone knows how to fix that for Kim, please let us know. That's hilarious. Kim at yourmaclifeshow.com. I didn't.
Yeah.
But that seems silly. That would lock you into that.
It seems that way. It seems that you get to pick first time, and then once you've picked, you're done. That's your skin color forever.
I can BC. Once you go black, you're back.
Exactly.
Alrighty then. Moving on from that. Any other questions, Kim?
No, that's it.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Got questions from the audience, though. We always got great questions from you guys. Send me emails to onair@yourmaclifeshow.com. You can get those questions in during the show if you want to send it live on air at yourmaclifeshow.com. Or if you want to send me emails during the week, I can always be reached at Shawn@yourmaclifeshow.com.
How are you picking the prizes people today?
I always pick them.
Okay. Are we picking 2?
Yes, sir.
People?
We'll pick 2 people. Thought I drove my first ever unsatisfactory experience in an Apple store. Recently went to the Sydney Apple store to check out the iWatch. It's an Apple Watch, dude, not an iWatch. And try to get some help with my iPhone 4S. As my phone is only an 8 gig model, I had concerns about upgrading to iOS 8.3, which you very well should, due to the amount of free space needed. I do need to upgrade to 7.1 first, as some of my apps won't work without it. Also, I currently don't have access to a Mac to sync my phone with. So you're in a bit of a mess. When I spoke to an Apple genius, I was told there was no 7.1 upgraded path available, and that if I upgraded to iOS 8 at the Apple Store, I would lose all my data, as they don't have the ability to save user data on a machine temporarily while the upgrade takes place. That seems odd to me, Scott, because I know they've offered that to me in the past. I was also told the 8.3 update would basically use all the space in my iPhone, leaving me with no space for music, etc. The only thing they actually seemed to be interested in was selling me an iPhone 6. It wasn't until I did an online chat with Apple support that anyone told me that I would only need 4.4 gigabytes of space available until the install was over, and then it would go back to approximately 2.8 gigs of used space for the iOS. When did Apple stop actually training their staff with basic information like this in store? And when did Apple basically stop providing real, useful customer support? Well, first of all, let's just keep this in perspective, Scott. This is one experience. I don't know if this would even be described as being a common experience. It certainly is frustrating, and I'm surprised and confused by the information that this Apple told you. I would, if I were you, I'd go back to that store and mention this to the manager. Don't confront the genius, but go to the manager. I don't know if you want to point out the genius or not, whether you got his name, but just mention it to them that the staff don't seem to be as up on things as they should have been, because everything that you've said is common knowledge, especially with regards to you can't upgrade at the Apple Store. I've always had them offer the use of their computers to do a backup and an install, and then a reinstall from the backup on their computer. I've never had a problem with that. Monty says, it doesn't seem odd to me at all. Too much reliability, having all that potentially sensitive personal data on a store computer. No, Monty, that's not true, because you hand in your laptops to the Apple Store geniuses all the time, and the vast majority of people do not protect that data. That's got pictures, and it's got documents, that's got all kinds of stuff on it. So I don't think that's an issue. They delete it when they're done. That's what. Look at this, Robert Studer. Robert Studer says emoji skin tones, and you can do this live on the air.
Okay.
Studer says press and hold on the desired emoji, and the tone selector will show again.
Oh, I just have to hold it down a bit longer. Okay.
Tell us if that works.
Let's see how that works. So I'm gonna pick it through. Oh, hang on.
Come on, lady.
You're right.
There you go, Bob.
Whoa.
Big Bob.
Way to go. High five.
Big Bob Studer.
In pink, yellow, and black. Those are my skin tones. High five. Yeah. Sweet.
Thanks, Bob. Cool.
Thank you very much.
When the audience can help with things I don't care about. Just don't give a rat's ass about. And I just got a text message from Kim, a whole bunch of emojis. Again, I don't care about. But she wants to send big shout-outs. Again, GoFundMe.com/Shawn King. I want to send a big shout-out to Kenneth Drake, to Nathan Haggard, to Barry Jackson. Those three, you guys know why I'm sending big shout-outs to you.
And Ron.
And more.
Ron.
And more will be coming, but Ron Klutz, also the Karen Mack and Lauren Finkelstein, but more you folk will be mentioned later on. Apple Watch debate, Scott Randall. First of all, I really enjoyed the YMO segment, which you two discussed the watch. Now, I have no immediate plans to get one, but I'm always interested in what people have to say about new technology. Also, on Jim Dalrymple's suggestion, I read Gruber's review of the watch. Boy, was that long. I also looked at some of what others have said about it. The one thing no one mentions is the cost. Well, we did. I know some people spend a lot on watches, and I also know this is not just a watch. But the entry-level price of $350 makes this a luxury item for many, not all, people. I got to disagree with them on that. This is not.
It is a big chunk of change.
But it's not a luxury item. For many people.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, yes, I would say it is.
If we're talking about the entire planet, we're talking about all the poor people in Africa and all the disadvantaged people in
no, even
India.
The average person. If you're looking for a watch, you don't spend
keep this in perspective in North America.
Mm.
$30 is not a lot of money spent on a watch for a lot of people. I'd say that would be right about. For a good watch, yeah, you can get a Timex for $99.
For the average to slightly above average in North America, yeah.
If you want a decent watch,
yeah,
exactly. Well, how much did your Harley watch cost?
It was about $300.
My Tissot cost $1,500, and that was after I talked the guy down from $4,500. Again, it was 14 years ago, so yeah, I don't see $350 as being a luxury price point for this. But anyway. You cannot compare this to the iPhone because mobile phones have become almost a necessity. Also, the phones are subsidized by the carriers. If you already have an iPhone, most companies will buy your old phone for the price of a new one, and at times they give you even more. There will be no such subsidy on the Apple Watch, at least as far as we know. And Apple has not said what they will do for you when the computer components of the watch become obsolete. I'm telling you right now, they won't do a thing. They didn't do a thing for the original iPhone when they came out with new versions. They're not going to do anything for the Apple Watch. So it's easy and not costly to replace your iPhone every 2 years, but the watch, we don't know yet. By the way, Shawn, did Kim get my instructions on setting up Do Not Disturb? If so, has she tried it? I've not heard back from her.
Yes, thank you. I do use it at work.
I don't. Okay, yeah, I don't believe the Apple Watch is a luxury item. It's a gadget. I don't see it as being luxury. And you can disagree with me, that's fine. But I don't think $350 is much to pay for a watch. Even if it was just a watch. You were just told time. $350 is not a lot to pay for a decent watch. That's going to last you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the key.
10 years.
Decent, and it's going to last you.
Now, there's no doubt there is concerns and questions about what's going to happen in 2 years, 3 years' time, when the components of the Apple Watch are obsolete.
But isn't that the thing with all forms of technology, like TVs? We don't expect, when they make advancements in technology, we don't expect them to compensate us for the old gadget we bought 10 years ago that's now out of date, do we?
It's odd how we expect that out of technology, though. It's odd that that's where it comes up the most. This complaint that, the latest and greatest widget for this device is no longer available for me. Well, that's just the way shit works. It's like.
Yeah, TV used to be black and white, and when they made color TVs, did everybody that had a black and white TV that still works say, "Hey, when are you going to upgrade my tube?" Like, no.
I remember when Volkswagen came out with the Volkswagen Beetle, the new version of the Beetle. It was a cute little car. And then 3 years later, they came out with the turbocharged version. The folks with the original version didn't come into the dealership and say, "All right, put the turbocharger on mine." We seem to want that with technology.
I know.
And we seem to want it with computer technology. When DVDs get upgraded, we don't, "Hey, I bought a DVD from you for 3 years ago. Now you're selling Blu-ray. Upgrade my DVD to Blu-ray." That's the way it works, kids.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't see the Apple Watch being upgradable. No. I don't think so.
It is what it is until they build the one that has the camera in it, and then everybody will buy that one.
ArcScience says, "Shawn, do you consider the iPhone a luxury item?" No, not at the price point of the iPhone. And maybe that's it in my head of luxury. I guess I have to define for myself what luxury is. I mean, it feels like luxury is something you know when you see it. You know what I mean? A fur coat's a luxury item.
But you see, I think luxury to most of us is something that you would pay a reasonable amount of money for for something that you just like the idea of but don't really need. Whereas you and I probably, because I don't think that watch would be considered a luxury item, because it's something it's useful and you can make use of it. It's not like a piece of diamond jewelry that's just like bling. You don't really make use of it. It doesn't do anything for you. Whereas the Apple Watch will actually do something useful to tell you time, give you messages, hold your pictures.
I also get the sense, something you said, that a reasonable amount of money. To me, luxury means spending an unreasonable amount of money.
No, see, I don't think that's luxury.
No.
I think it's a luxury if you spend any amount of money on something that you don't really need. That's a luxury. Because if you have no money, right, and you find a way to have a really fancy drink or something one day, that's a luxury at that moment. It may have only cost you $10. That's not a big dollar value, but it's a luxury item. It's something you wouldn't normally have. It's a treat. It's something.
But I think you have all the money in the world and still buy luxury items. What you're saying is luxury is depending on your personal income. I think luxury is depending on that item's cost compared to other items similar to it.
You're putting a whole dollar value on luxury.
No. What I'm saying is I like Jameson's Scotch. Sorry, Jameson's Irish whiskey.
Mm.
And every now and then I'll buy it in a bar, and it's generally $5 to $7 for a shot.
Mm.
Occasionally, I'll go for the luxury Jameson's 18-year-old Scotch, which is $12 a shot. That to me is luxury. It's paying more than what I normally would pay for something.
See, I don't look at luxury as just being a dollar value. I look at it as a sensation, a feeling, a treat. It's something you wouldn't normally do.
Brian Monroe, sorry, my lips or teeth are hurting. Apple does a good job at affordable luxury. That's a good way to describe it.
That is a good way to describe it.
It's a really way to describe it. He says the same is true about Starbucks. It's expensive for coffee, but people buy it to treat themselves.
Yeah. And they do a good job because they do such good quality. It looks good. So people feel they're getting value as well as luxury treat.
Yeah, the perceived value of it is much, much higher.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, I'm starting to tire here, folks. Let me wrap this up. Oh, let's give away some prizes. Let's give away some prizes to nice folks from our studio audience.
So Holoclip.com.
Holoclip.com.
I think it's 4-in-1 lens.
4-in-1 lenses, I believe. I know it's a telephoto. I know it's a macro. I think it's a 2 macro.
Panorama.
Wide angle, telephoto, and 2 panorama lenses. That the nice folks at Holoclip are going to give. And it's for your iPhone. I think they've got it still for the iPhone 4, but the iPhone 5 and iPhone 6. So let me get my list of people lined up here. Pips here. And whenever you'd like to, you can just say stop, and I will award this Holoclip prize to...
Stop!
Oh, don't yell in my ears.
Sorry.
Oh, my goodness. F&N Ventures.
F&N.
I don't know who F&N Ventures. I'm going to open this up right now. Save that over there. F&N Ventures has won a Holoclip. Thanks very much to F&N Ventures, LLC. I don't know who you are, but I'm just going to say your company name. You've won a Holoclip from the next folks at Holoclip, holoclip.com. All right, what else we got?
Running with Crayons, alfredapp.com.
Oh, the Alfred app. I love the Alfred app. Love the Alfred app. It's the, I think it's called the Super Pack. It's their add-on. Alfred is a free app, but they've got a super pack, a bonus pack, an add-on pack. I think it's $30 that they're giving away on tonight's show. So whenever you'd like, you can tell me to say stop without yelling at me.
Stop.
That's much better. I'm going to go to Gary Apter. I think Gary's the one in Iowa. Congratulations to Gary Apter. You've won a copy of Alfred from the nice folks at Running with Crayons. I love the name of the company. That's just a funny name.
It is.
Running with Scissors, Running with Crayons. Thanks very much to those nice folks for giving us a copy of the Alfred. Look at Brian Monroe trying to horn in on your stopping thing. Brian, we don't need your help anymore. Kim's doing it. So stop saying stop. Monty says it sounds like the same name as the listener who won in the last show. No, was it? No, you see, Monty, no. Kim is keeping track.
We had Cuccia Consulting Group. Sandra
Cucina.
Cucina?
Yes.
Consulting Group.
So there, Monty.
Well, that was Matthew P.
Now, Monty, Gary Apter's name is familiar because I remember correctly, he is a trucker in Boise, Idaho. He sends email on a regular basis.
Trucker. I can drive truck.
It still kind of blows me away that you're formerly an 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
Full size, long haul.
For Challenger Motor Freight.
Long haul trucking.
Cambridge, Ontario.
That just still blows my mind.
Versatile woman.
What?
Nothing.
You say versatile?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I hope you said. Monty says, okay, it sounds similar. Yeah, it does sound similar, but it's not. That's it. We're done. I want to say thanks very much to you folks for tuning into the show. Oh, that's right. On next week's show, I want to say thanks also to... Never mind. I've forgotten his name, so I can't do it just yet. Got reviews of some stuff for next week's show. We got some photography stuff on next week's show. More prizes to give away on next week's show. Hopefully, we'll have some more news about the teeth situation for you folks. GoFundMe.com is the website. We're over $5,000 now, and I can't thank you guys enough for doing that. It's as humiliating and shameful as this has been for me. It's been the silver lining has been the fact that so many folks have donated so much money to help me fix a problem of my own making. I completely own up to that. This is my own fault, and you guys supporting me and sending out good wishes and all that stuff is very, very gratifying and heartening. So thanks very much, kids. Folks, until next week, she's been
Kim Guy.
And I've been Shawn King, and you've been listening to Your Mac Life. Thanks for joining us, folks. See ya.